So image URI I have pasted, and next host port is also 80 and container port is 80. So that means host port will be your external IP address and container port will be your internal IP address. So I will not change anything, so let's keep it as a 80. In the later stages, if you want another port number to be done, you can add port number and you can write your desired port number, and internal port number should be 80. So we'll configure it later. Once if we are dealing with other images and all, we'll deal with this later. So let me keep host port and container port as 80. And next we need to allocate the sizes. So guys, why we are doing this actually? What is the purpose of allocating the CPU and memory? I told you in the morning. See, if I give the CPU volumes as 1 directly, what happens? It will totally accumulate the 1 GB and it will totally accumulate the 3 GB. So there won't be any capacity or storage left for the other builds to happen. So there won't be any space left for the other processes to happen. So that's why we will limit the usage to 0.25. That means 256 MB of CPU will be utilized, and 0.5 means 512 MB of memory will be utilized. And memory soft limit, it's okay, you can keep it 1 GB. And so this is the CloudWatch monitors which will monitor, and click on create. So task definition is created successfully, and meanwhile what we will do, we will go to load balancer, attach the load balancer to the target group and attach the target group to the load balancer. So guys, carefully listen what I am doing now. So your EC2 instance has been created and running. So this is your clusters EC2 image. This is your clusters EC2 image. Don't get confused. So the name will be like ECS instance only. So this is the instance which was launched by ECS, and this is the instance which was launched by me for communicating the Docker image. So next, go to your target groups first. So in the target groups, I have 2 target groups. Let me delete so that it won't create any conflict. So delete it. Sorry, we can't delete it, so because it is already attached to load balancer, or else targets will remove first. Okay, there are no targets also, so remove this load balancer. And next remove the existing target group. Delete. Okay, so create a target group. So I wanted to add instances. So instances. So for the morning sessions, EC2 instances were not there. What was there as a target? IP addresses was there, because Fargate and all didn't launch any EC2 instance. It directly attached the application to the elastic IP. So this time I'll select instances. So target group name. So we'll stick on to the name of our cluster. So my ECS cluster load balancer I will give. So as I am creating target group, so let me give TG. And port is, listener port is 80, that's fine. Health checks are fine. Click on next. Okay, so these are not allowed. I think there is a space in front of this. My ECS or else let's keep this simple. My ECS cluster target group and click on next. So let me add the instance which is created by EC2. Click on include as pending below and create a target group. So target group has been created, but we need to add this target group to the load balancer. See, if you see here, it is not attached to any load balancer. So we'll create a load balancer first and attach the target group here. So as per my requirement, I wanted application load balancer. Click on create. So even application load balancer also I'll use like this, ASG, application load balancer. So ALB. So my ECS cluster ALB. So internet facing, because my application wants to be accessed publicly. So next, network mapping default VPC, and select all the available zones. And if you wanted to narrow down this, you can go to EC2 and see in which region your EC2 instance is launched, whether it is in 1A or whether it is in 1B or whether it is in 1C. Make sure that it is installed in proper location, and these locations should match with your EC2 instance. But now I am selecting all the 3 subnets, but some people who are accessing in North Virginia region or other regions, so you will be having many subnets, like 6 to 7 subnets you will be having. Those people, what you can do, go to your EC2 instance, see in which subnet your or in which availability zone your EC2 instance is created, and select that availability zone. So as I have only 3, I am selecting all the 3, but it's difficult for selecting all 7 to 8 availability zones. So make a note of it. So you have to select your EC2 instance region. Next, security groups, default, target group, attach, and no need of these things and all. So if you want, you can know. So what is this CloudFront web application firewall global accelerator? So global accelerator means it will make your application accessible globally. So wherever you are, you can be able to access the application because it is a public application. So application in the sense, don't misinterpret me. So application in the sense, it may be your website, full stack website or React, JS, Node, any web application. And what is this firewall? Security layer. And next, what do you think about this CloudFront? So CloudFront is a CDN service. So CDN, if you don't know, CDN stands for Content Delivery Networks. CDN stands for Content Delivery Networks. If you want, you can note down. So I will tell you one best example. So there is a bank and there is an ATM. You wanted to get some liquid cash. So which one will be very easy? Going to bank and getting the cash, or going to ATM and getting the cash? Going to ATM and getting the cash is very easy, right? So in content delivery networks, what happens? If you would have observed your YouTube, more than your actual video, your advertisement will load very faster. Even if you don't have a proper internet connection also, your advertisement, YouTube ads will play much faster than the actual video, even when you have low latency of network. Why? The reason is simple. In your YouTube's main servers, they will actually upload the advertisement. Okay? So when any first user hits the video uploaded, No, the first user when he search for the video and access the video will directly gets downloaded in a new server. Okay, so main servers are again for the better availability. What happens now? Main servers will again be divided into smaller servers to store small data. Those network servers are called as content delivery networks. Okay, so your ad directly will download into the server. So just like what actually bank do, so it won't directly put some lump sum amount in the ATMs, right? Only some little quantity of amount they will take and deposit in the ATM machine, so that users they will transact some smaller amounts. So same way your YouTube servers or whatever main server, what it will do, it will send the information, and these information will be stored in a smaller network zones called as content delivery networks. Okay, so when any user hits, it will not directly go to the main server, it will reach as the CDN network servers. So from there, even if you have less latency also, directly the ad will play. So these are called as content delivery networks. So this CloudFront will come under this content delivery network. So what it will do, CloudFront, it will, with maximum potentiality, it will try to deliver the content faster to the user. Okay, CloudFront. So it will allow the content to be transferred or accelerated to its maximum faster limit, so that the user will not have any lag issues or buffering issues. So that is what called as CloudFront. So what it will do, it will make your application highly accessible, so that you won't have any buffering issues. So as we don't have that much big architecture and all, we don't select all these options. But just have an idea, because we can't implement all these things because it is not free use tires, it will be chargeable. So that's why I'm not selecting all these things. So simple, keep it default and click on create load balancer. So even here also special characters are not allowed, it seems. So let's delete these special characters. And create load balancer. So once the load balancer is created, check for the target groups. Make sure your your target group is attached to the load balancer. If it is not attached, your application will not accessible. So my target group is attached to load balancer, and load balancer may take some time for becoming to active state. So leave it right now and let's go back to cluster creations. So cluster is created, task definition is created. Now it's time to deploy. So go to cluster, services, create service. So task definition, revision 1, and launch type, it's not forget, it's a EC2. So desired task 1 and health checkup. So for every 5 minutes, let's make the health checkup. So if you want, you can keep it to 10 seconds also. It's not any commitment to keep the health check period. Next, coming to load balancing, click on use load balancing, select the VPC, and it is application load balancer. So it is asking application load balancer, create new or existing. So let's use existing because we already configured it. And next, listener, let's use port 80, which is default. And instead of creating new target group, we'll select existing target group. And existing target group is also attached. And scroll down and create. So by this time your load balancer also should be ready. Okay, let it take time to create. So once the service also created, see there is one task running and it is in blue color, so that means it is getting activated to turn it into green. So once this turns into green totally, your application is ready. So to check the status, you can go to tasks, click on tasks. See, it is in running status, so it has been launched automatically. Okay, so now it has been turned to green color, so that means you have a successful deployment. So how to access this? So as we have connected these two load balancer, so you can ping the load balancer DNS. So make sure your load balancer is running. Okay, this is active. So first we'll check with the EC2 instance of the ECS cluster. So this is my EC2 instance. So let's check here, public IP address, ping. So I have successfully deployed. So as I should not give my public IP address to the end users directly, so I will make use of the load balancer's DNS. So go to load balancer, open the load balancer, click on the DNS name and let's ping the DNS. Done, application deployed successfully. Just in case if you wanted to change the port number, so what you have to do, first go to load balancer, instead of 80 add listener port. So listener port some 5000 something I'll keep. And next select the security group also and click on add listener, and the same way go to target groups, and if you wanted to change here, if you see any changes here, so monitoring health, so I think you cannot change it here. Done. So I wanted to create a task definition here. So in the task definition, so create a new version. So in this new version, so port 80 change it to 5000 and container port is 80. So you can ignore the port name. So this is custom TCP, CTCP I will put, and protocol is HTTP, and click on create. So once task definition is created, you need to go back to your services, update cluster, click on update. So in the listeners, it takes some time to give the reflect here. It takes some time to reflect here. let's take version 2 if you want. And create and update cluster. So okay, anyways, takes time. It will be finished. So I'll stop the recording and